Happy Saturday, dividend growth stock investors. Colby the DGI Crab here, coming to you with good news on a Saturday. Anytime there is a dividend increase among the 60 stocks that this channel focuses on, I will bring that to you on the Saturday edition of the DGI Crab. This channel, as I said, focuses on just 60 high-quality dividend growth stocks, and I've split them into 4 separate categories or tiers based off of your age. The most important timeline, or the most important metric, your age and timeline, is what a dividend growth investor ought to be taking into consideration. I'm not a professional financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence before you invest your hard-earned money in anything. However, for those of you who have invested your hard-earned money into AFLAC, you just got rewarded with a banger of a dividend increase. AFLAC is in the Tier 1 category for me, which is for the 18 to 30-year-old investors. AFLAC's a fine company to invest in, even if you're older than 30, but this is certainly one that I think is best suited for a younger investor because the dividend growth on this one is very consistently very high. It's a wonderful compounder, and there's a lot of history of dividend increases with the major insurance player. I'm the crab, this one's the duck, and here we go. Let's take a look and see what AFLAC did. So what they have done is they've increased their dividend from $2 per share per year all the way up to $2.32 per share per year, which represents a 16% increase in your forward dividend income. So let's just kind of take that into consideration for a minute. Say that you've got, I don't know, maybe a 50 share position in AFLAC, just to throw out a nice round number there. 50 shares, you get another 32 cents a share. That's a big time increase in your dividend income. You'd have to scrap together a lot of new money in order to get that much dividend income coming into your portfolio. But if you already took the time to build up a decent position in AFLAC, you don't even have to lift a finger to get that raise. So definitely thrilled with this increase out of AFLAC. They have a 40-plus year consecutive dividend growth streak in them. They are absolutely a dividend aristocrat, and I am quite confident that they will eventually become a dividend king when they hit that year 50 mark. Payout ratio is very comfortable for AFLAC. It's not even 30%. So they have plenty of cash to be able to continue increasing those dividend. AFLAC currently is trading for $107.31. I remember a few years ago you could get this stock in the 50s. If you were scooping it up at those rates a few years back, you have to be absolutely thrilled. So if we take a look at the last 10 years of the dividend yield history here, we can see the average yield for 2024 has been just a little bit below 2%, which is definitely on the low end for them. AFLAC has been, in my opinion, an overpriced stock pretty much this entire year. They usually are going to be yielding in the low twos. Maybe if they sneak up into the mid-2 range now and again, but that typically is not the norm. Now you can see here on the max yield side, if we can get AFLAC yielding above 2.5%, if we can get them on a dip in the high 2s, that's probably about where I would want to start adding to my position if I were, especially if I were in that 18 to 20-year-old category. We'll look at the dividend growth history on AFLAC next. And you can see here, they have some big increases, and then they'll have some smaller ones here and there. 2023 was a down year. They just did a 5% increase. I wasn't thrilled with this one because I thought that they had plenty of cash to do a double-digit increase in 2023. But every once in a while, management will just, in any well-run company, might just make a conservative decision on dividend increases here and there just to make sure that they have plenty of cash to do other things, whether it be paying off debt or doing share buybacks or whatever the case may be. But in this case, AFLAC has really done a great job here with this particular increase. 21% was the increase in 2022, almost 18% in 21. 20 and 19, small increases, just 3.7 and 3.85, but they did almost 20%, 19.5 in 2018. And then some mid-single digit increases in the 20 teens. And then if you go back a little bit further, they were doing massive dividend increases in the 2000s. Throughout the 90s, they were doing double digits. So here and there, they will do a conservative increase like they did in 2023. But in this case, in 2024, they absolutely made up for the slow increase from 2023. I'm going to go back to the scorecard here real quick just to take a quick look. I didn't point out 5-year growth rate on the dividend, 13.12%, currently yielding 2.16%. So the question is, where does that stack up on the value side for me? If I open up the spreadsheet here and we review the group of tier 1 stocks for the 18 to 30-year-old investor, now that the dividend increase has been factored in, Aflac, I would say, is trading at fair value today now that they've done that increase, but still is certainly not one that's on sale. The 4-year average yield is sitting at 2.24%, and the current day yield is 2.16. So even with that 16% banger increase, they still have not quite gotten to the point where they're yielding as high as their 4-year average yield. So while I'm very excited to have a small position in Aflac, I wish it was larger. I definitely don't even have 50 shares, unfortunately. Anyone out there that has any amount of Aflac should be feeling great this week, getting such a nice bump in that dividend income. And I will be very excited for any buying opportunities that I see in Aflac on a go-forward basis. They definitely needed a big dividend increase because the stock has been doing so well this year, up well over $100. But still looks to be just fair value at this point in time at best. So I still am not going to be looking to add any Aflac at current prices even after this big dividend increase, but I love getting that 16% bump to the passive income that my position is generating, and I hope that you are too. That's the name of the game, you guys. Buying blue chip stocks when they are on sale, which will give you greater share price appreciation potential and also give you a much better starting yield on cost. So when you do get the opportunity to enjoy a 16% dividend increase, hopefully you've done so buying the stock when it was trading really low. Like I said, a couple of years ago, this one was trading down in the 50s and the 60s, and it's been on an absolute tear since about 2022, I believe. And it just hasn't looked back. Maybe there will be some hardships in the insurance industry at some point in time over the next 12 to 18 months, and we'll have an opportunity to add more Aflac to the portfolio if and when that happens. But I will absolutely, like I do with all of my stocks, let the dividend reinvestment do its thing, so that way I'm not completely missing out on growth in case just sitting back and waiting to add money if it's just fair valued doesn't look particularly appealing to me. So that is the video for today, guys. And again, a big congratulations to Aflac shareholders. Please email me any questions that you have at dgicrab@yahoo.com. I'd be happy to respond with an email. And I would even do a video response, keeping you anonymous, of course, if it's something that requires a little bit more of an in-depth discussion. Also, links in the video description below to a video on each of the 4 tiers, including this tier 1 right here. So I'll go through on those videos each of the stocks individually that made the list and why I picked them and put them in the category that I did. Hope you're all having a great weekend, and I will catch you on the next one. Let's keep investing.